Hello everybody, welcome back. Wanted to make a quick follow-up video about my cow elk hunt that I've been preparing for this year, and actually is now finished. So I did get my cow elk, and I'll show you some footage in a little bit about where I was and how the shot was and everything. But first I wanted to talk a little bit about my 270. This is my Winchester Model 70 Sporter Classic in 270 Winchester, and it's got a 24-inch barrel and nice walnut stock, and it's got just a fairly inexpensive Crossfire Vortex Crossfire 2 scope 4 to 12 by 44 on it. And so a lot of people ask the question, and a lot of people have debated on whether or not the 270 Winchester is a good caliber for elk hunting. And a lot of people have shot elk with them. So we do know that, of course, that it can work. And it worked pretty good for me. I made my video earlier this year talking about whether or not I wanted to use my 7mm 08 Remington that I have in Ruger M77 Hawkeye, and that I did a shooting video on that, and was getting about a little over 1-inch groups with the American Whitetail, and then I was shooting the Hornady Superformance GMX, and they were grouping worse than that. They were grouping anywhere from like 2 to 4 inches, if I remember correctly. But so I decided to go ahead and just use my 270 Winchester, and you know, being that I can take a little bit longer shots and stuff like that, and because I've found this Federal Fusion 150 grain, and they were shooting really good. The bullets were basically touching, the holes were touching each other at 100 yards. So I had a lot of confidence in the accuracy of this round. And because the Federal Fusion bullets are bonded, I had good confidence that the bullet would stay together. And I think it's a pretty good looking bullet, honestly. So just a nice Spitzer point on it with a lead tip. And I wanted to make a video about it too, because like I said, I finished my elk hunt. First day out, I was lucky enough to find a cow elk, and took a few shots at it actually. I spotted them at about 550 yards away, and then I was able to sneak up a little bit on them and got to within. I walked down this road and was kind of hiding behind trees as I went along because I was in view of them, and went up this bank where they couldn't see me, and then I popped over the bank and rested my rifle on a stump. And I think they had seen me walking down the road. There was a group of about 5 or 6 cow elk, and they'd probably seen me walking down the road, because as soon as I popped my head over that bank and rested my rifle on the stump, they were getting really skittish, and a couple of them kind of trotted off up into the trees on the top of the ridge, which was uphill for me a little bit. And at that point, the distance was about 355 yards, I think, or 365. I measured it out on the Onyx map. There's a distance measuring tool, and I measured it there because I don't have a rangefinder. So I was estimating ranges, and I kind of hurried my shot a little bit because I thought they might be getting ready to run over the hill. So I picked out a cow elk, and I took a shot, but unfortunately I know when I pulled the trigger, I placed the reticle pretty much right in the perfect spot, even maybe a little bit low in the kill zone. And I knew that based on the ballistics of this round that it was going to hit low. But it did hit the elk in the lower part of the leg. And so it trotted off, and I thought, okay, I probably hit it. But the rest of the elk ran off, and then I came up a little closer, so I got it to 322 yards away, and I looked again, and I saw that the cow elk was standing there and just stomping her hoofs on the ground. So obviously I'd hit her in the leg, and I was pretty sure I could see blood. So I took my time and made a little bit better of a shot at 322 yards with the 270. with the 150 grain Federal Fusions, and this time she went down. And so I was, I reloaded and everything, and then I was looking through my binoculars again, and she got back up. So I shot a few more times, and long story short, I put the elk down and got up to her. Of course, it took me a while to get to her because I couldn't actually walk down the canyon and straight up this really steep cliff basically to get to her. So I had to look on the Onyx map, find the road to drive around, and I could see a road over close to where they were at, and I found the way to get back over to them in northwestern Oregon. And I just took a shot at a cow elk from down there, off of the top of this ridge, shot up here, and you probably can't see that, but there looks like there's a elk laying down there. So we're gonna go take a look. You can see the little brown dot right there in the middle of the screen. It was a long shot for me and I was shaking, but we got her down. That's the important thing. And I'm about to fill my tag here in a second. I'm gonna pause so I can get up there. There she is. Got one good shot in the shoulder there. First shot was actually in the leg. I aimed too low. That is a big animal. A very, very large animal. Oh yeah, I made a couple good shots on her, but that first shot was low because, well, at 300 yards I need to aim about a foot high, and I aimed right where I wanted to hit. So unfortunately nailed her in the leg, but that got her to stop and stand up in here somewhere, right up in here, and she was just standing there kind of stomping her leg. So got her again. Oh boy. I got some work cut out, but it's actually not bad. Turned out good because there's the truck and over there is the ridge line I shot off of. Little ridge there. So it's time to start processing, skinning her out. I'm going to try to do the gutless method. But there she is, 270. Got her done. Okay, so I've begun the process here. Made a cut down the back to get that skin off. We'll do this side here that's up first. And I wanted to show you that entrance wound of the 270 150 grain Federal Fusion. So I don't know if it went through, but we'll find out, I guess. Did get her one time through the lungs, and it went all the way through, and then the shot in the legs went through both legs, and then there was another shot that finished her off that hit her. She was laying down, angling towards me like this, so I hit her on that left shoulder, and when we were butchering her out, I was able to find one of the bullets that it went and got trapped up in the the back strap right up by the backbone. So there was very little meat wastage, and the bullet held together really well. And I wanted to show you. Let's see what that bullet looked like. And so that's the bullet that I found when we were actually butchering the meat. 270 Fusion 150 grain. It held together really well, considering I think this is the one that went into that shoulder and then ended up lodging itself somewhere up in the back strap on her, you know, halfway down through her body. So it went a ways and mushroomed out really nice, and that finished her off. So I know for sure that I got one shot that went completely through her, and the exit hole was not very big. It was probably maybe twice the diameter of the bullet, so it would have been about this diameter, I'm guessing. Anyway, wanted to share with you the success that I had on my hunt, and I'm really pleased with the 270. I like it a lot. I think the 7mm weight would have done just fine as well. But I didn't have the bullets that would give me the same confidence with the accuracy and the knockdown power, or the ability for the bullet to stay intact if I use the American whitetail with the 7mm weight. So anyway, glad to share with you. We've got lots of nice elk steak, Roosevelt elk steak in the freezer, some burger, and was able to share some with friends and family as well. And had lots of help from my brother-in-law and my brother to butcher up the meat, so I was really thankful for that. And just had a great elk hunting experience. It was a second elk that I shot in my life, and the first one was when I was 16 years old, and then a little bit older than that now. I used the gutless method, so I didn't look at the damage to the lungs. I might have also got another shot lower, but honestly I was by myself, and so I wanted to get the elk quartered out and everything as quickly as I could so that I could get the meat off the mountain and get back home, because I was about a 3-hour drive from home, and it was 12 o'clock when I shot her, and it was 1 o'clock by the time I got back to her and punched my tag. And it took about 3 hours to quarter her out and take the meat down to the truck. Wasn't very far, but being alone, I haven't ever done this by myself with an elk. So point being that I didn't inspect everything as closely as I would have liked to in retrospect, but I think the 270 Winchester did really good with one bullet passing through completely. And these are big animals, as you can see in the video. And then one traveling quite a distance through the shoulder and up into the back. And then possibly there might have been another one that was lower into the heart. Or it could have also been that bullet that hit through the legs. I wasn't sure, but there was another hole down low by where the heart is. So, you know, it wasn't perfect, but the 270 did the job, especially at 355 and then 322 yards. I thought it did really well, and I was pretty pleased with the trajectory and the knockdown power with the Federal Fusion 270 rounds. These are my barrel, like I said, is my barrel is measuring at 24 inches, so I think the velocities listed on here are pretty accurate. It's 2,850 feet per second, so and I'm zeroed in at 100 yards. Okay, folks, as of right now, it is 2 hours and 45 minutes after I tagged my animal, just after I showed you the video of walking up on her. And I've got the first pack with the hind quarter and some back strap in the truck, and got a couple more to go sitting up on that stump. I hope that first one was the heaviest one. There's the remaining 3 bags. Got one more hind quarter, 2 front quarters, and some back straps, and tenderloins, neck meat, everything I could salvage. It's hard doing it as a one-man job, that's for sure. But it's going to be some good eating. Progress. 2 in, 2 to go. All right, folks. Well, it's a good thing we wrapped it up. Got them all in the truck. It's starting to drizzle pretty good, so got to get this meat out of the water, out of the rain. Hopefully it's good. Did the best I could, and I am beat but I've got about a 3-hour, maybe a little more than 3-hour drive ahead of me. So, but that's all right. That's gonna be a lot easier than hiking around the mountains and packing. Hope you enjoyed the video and a little bit of the footage of the elk, and hopefully maybe it's a little bit helpful. And I really appreciate you watching, and if you haven't, please subscribe, like this video and subscribe so that I can, it really helps me out to get more views and hopefully grow my channel a little bit. So thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.